the most powerful being in the universe, capable of doing extraordinary things. But he's not our hero. He's a goddamn son of a bitch. A sadistic, evil, cruel, terrifying narcissist. Imagine this guy, able to melt you like jello right in front of your face. He can hear your heartbeat. He knows when you're scared. He knows you're shitting your pants. And then he asks you a question. And you can't lie. You can't stutter. You can't sound weird. Your heart rate can't spike. Bottom line, if you ran into Homelander today, and he decided to kill you, he'd kill you. Simple as that. Alright, but how is this dude so badass? How is he so powerful? What makes his anatomy so unique and fascinating? Well, that's what we're gonna find out today. I'm gonna explain exactly how it all works, what this guy is capable of, and why his anatomy is so unique. Today, we're talking about the anatomy of Homelander. Homelander. Damn, the name itself already gives off that cocky vibe, right? The Homelander. So you think, oh, the guy for the homeland, the American symbol, the model hero, right? Wrong, my friend. The stuff behind that Colgate smile and the gaze that fries everyone is way more sinister and twisted. So, Homelander, this scumbag, was born around the spring of 1981. And look, forget that crap about a hero who stumbled into a vat of radiation or got bit by a radioactive spider. The dude was literally manufactured. They took Soldier Boy's sperm, the guy who was supposed to be the pinnacle of old-school American heroes, packed with insane powers, and bam. Picture it. The greatest hero of one generation creating the greatest of the next. Except instead of becoming a moral example, the whole thing went sideways and turned into this sadistic freak. The guy had no childhood, like zero. No playing in the street or swiping apples from the neighbor's tree. He was raised in a lab, surrounded by some mad scientists like Jonah Vogelbaum, who by the way called him John in a chat with Butcher. How bizarre is that? And then, my dude, the kid was a guinea pig for every nasty and painful experiment to test the limits of his powers. Think about this hell. They stuck the kid's hand in a furnace, cooked the guy alive, made him fight some jacked up Vought security guard, all to see how super he was. And the result? He turned into this aggressive, hate-filled monster, a complete asshole from day one. Basically, they ripped out any shred of humanity to create the perfect super soldier. What a boneheaded idea, right? And it doesn't stop there. Oh no, it wasn't just his body they wanted to screw with. The poor guy's mind, or maybe not so poor, was also sculpted through brainwashing. They put him through some serious mental conditioning, enough to drive anyone crazy. Hours and hours in front of a projector, watching images of the American flag and other patriotic crap to drill it into his head that he was Mr. America. Then, when he became a hero, they changed his name from John to Homelander. Get it? To me, that says it all. The guy isn't a person, he's a product, a Vought trademark, a puppet. Alright? Now hold on to your seats because we're about to get into the part that's both fucking awesome and will make you crap your pants. The anatomy and powers of this devil. Homelander is, no joke, the most OP soup around today. And the secret is all in his DNA, which makes other soups look like toddlers. While most got compound V after they were born, this guy came factory loaded with the blue juice in his veins, using Soldier Boy's DNA as a base. That means the dude was born with a genetic cheat code, being better at everything from the get-go. It's like the Gold Premium Plus Ultra version of Compound V. Heat vision. And not for warming up your leftovers, partner. This demon's eyes are weapons of mass destruction. The psycho can shoot superheated red beams from his eyes that cut through anything. He loves using this shit to melt people, turn bone to dust, and make folks explode. A total horror show. And most other soups turn into BBQ if they cross paths with these lasers. The craziest part is the control he has over this crap. He can regulate the intensity, like when he warmed up Stillwell's baby bottle without melting the plastic. Or when he gave Butcher a little push, even with temporary V, sending the guy flying. So you ask me, but how hot is this stuff? Man, to melt bone, you need over 1600 degrees Celsius. And to make a body explode, the temperature has to be so insane it vaporizes everything inside instantly. We're talking thousands, maybe tens of thousands of degrees. It's like having an industrial blowtorch in his eyes that he uses with the precision of a surgeon or the brutality of a tank. But hey, against a tough cookie like Queen Maeve, it seems his laser barely tickles her, which shows the chick is a walking tank when it comes to heat. Super strength and flight. The guy's known as the most jacked dude on the planet, and for good reason. He ripped a plane door off mid-flight like it was cardboard. But here's the catch. He himself said he couldn't hold up the whole plane to save everyone, indicating he needs solid ground to use his full strength. A detail that, look at that, actually makes some sense. To rip off a plane door like that, the force is absurd, like tens of tons. Stuff not even heavy machinery can do. The guy's in another league. Later, he faced off against Soldier Boy, and at first, it looked like a stalemate. But Homelander ended up crushing the old dude with brute force, almost sent him to his grave if Butcher hadn't shown up. And even against Soldier Boy and a juiced-up Butcher together, he still ran circles around them. Only when Huey jumped into the fray did they manage to take the bastard down, and with a lot of effort. And even then, the scumbag broke free, tossing all three of them aside, and bailed. Meaning, one-on-one, just on strength, nobody can take this monster. His strength isn't measured in pounds, it's in small buildings he can lift. Homelander also told Stan Edgar that the view of New York is way cooler from space. That means the dude flies out of Earth's atmosphere without needing oxygen or anything. So, the cold of space and cosmic radiation are like a day at the beach for him. The guy's power is God tier. He doesn't give a damn about atmosphere or if there's air to breathe. He flies like a rocket, but he's no slouch on the ground either. The dude's supersonic. Even as a kid, he was already breaking the sound barrier around 1,235 kilometers per hour, just so you know. Today, he's so fast he dodges bullets and disarms a whole crew before anyone can blink. Remember when Butcher was about to blow up Stillwell? Homelander saved Butcher from the blast. A C4 bomb explodes at a speed about 23 times faster than sound. If sound is already fast as hell, imagine 23 times faster. That's like 28,405 kilometers per hour. To give you an idea, that's going from New York to DC in under a minute. The guy moves at the speed of a hypersonic missile, becomes a blur to our mere mortal eyes. X-ray vision. Homelander also sees through almost anything, except stuff with zinc. Well, look at that. A rare weakness. The boys even used this when they hid Translucent's remains in a zinc-lined box so he wouldn't find them. It seems his X-ray vision is kinda half-assed, just low-energy photons. And he can still zoom in like a pro camera, seeing things and people from far away. When he was hunting Madeline Stillwell, he used his X-ray to see through the wall and then zoomed in on her face. Super hearing and smell. The guy's sense of smell is wicked, way beyond ours. He smelled Huey and Starlight's nervousness just from their adrenaline. He can find explosives by smell and even caught Butcher's scent on Queen Maeve, figuring out they were hooking up. His hearing is also out of this world, picking up sounds from miles away. He can hear someone's heart beating, their blood pressure rising, and knows when they're aroused or anxious. He can even hear A-Train cursing him out under his breath. But this turbocharged hearing is also a weak spot. Really loud, high-pitched noises mess him up bad. His son Ryan has it too, except Homelander, even in pain, can still function. In a crisis that got both of them, Ryan was useless. But his dad went and shut off the noise source. Invulnerability and near immortality. The guy is a walking tank, super resistant to physical damage, the toughest of the seven, if not all soups. Not only is he bulletproof, but explosions are like confetti to him. Remember Stillwell's house blowing up with him inside? Or the entire power plant exploding? Didn't faze him. Madeline Stillwell said there's no weapon on Earth that works against him, which suggests the guy can even withstand a nuke. Butcher even thought only a thermonuclear bomb could take down Soldier Boy, who was almost as strong as him. Dave even said he was invincible, and Homelander himself believed it, so much so that he dared Victoria Newman to try and pop his head. To understand how tough this bastard skin is, forget steel. Steel is strong, but it has limits. Homelander's skin, and his whole body, must have some altered molecular chemistry from Compound V that makes everything denser and more cohesive than any metal we know. Think of the toughest armor-grade steel. His skin is like a molecular force field, where the atoms are so tightly packed that nothing breaks through, withstanding an entire power plant explosion without a scratch. It's like his skin is made of a material that doesn't even exist yet, light as skin but hard as a space diamond. But Homelander himself slipped up on that whole invincibility thing when he threatened Queen Maeve about the Flight 37 video. He said he'd take out the air defenses first, meaning heavy artillery can hurt him. A small, but important, chink in the god armor. And we saw he's not made of iron. After that monster fight with Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Huey, Homelander showed up with a big-ass bruise on his face. And even after taking a beating from Maeve, he still felt it, and even had a nosebleed. In other words, he's tough as nails, but he's not immortal. But to even get close to killing this guy, you gotta be seriously badass. And how does he take so much punishment? We don't have the full X-ray, but you can bet his cells are different from ours. Compound V from the womb must have messed with his DNA, making tissue, bone, everything super dense and resilient. Think otherworldly muscle and bone density. And he probably heals super fast, Wolverine style. The bruise and bloody nose show he gets hurt, but he recovers in the blink of an eye, almost like a self-repairing war machine. But look, as OP as he is physically, this guy's biggest weaknesses are in his head. He's a fucked up mess. Homelander has this spoiled brat habit of humiliating people he doesn't like but can't or won't kill. He does some really messed up shit, man, pretending to be all friendly. Remember Starlight joining the Seven? Homelander tried to embarrass her every which way on her birthday, with some chicks in slutty versions of her uniform dancing behind him, or by suddenly announcing they were a couple, knowing she hates his guts. Other victims of this bullshit include Queen Maeve, whom he outed as a lesbian, even though she's bi, on live TV without her consent, and the Deep, whom he forced to eat a seafood dinner to rejoin the Seven. This isn't just malice, it's petty, calculated cruelty, born from a massive ego and deep-seated insecurity. He can't handle rejection or anything that threatens his image of perfection. Yeah, this is definitely the guy you never know what to expect from. Every scene we see in The Boys, you never really know what this dude is gonna do. When I'm watching, I'm thinking, what's this son of a bitch gonna do now? Or you're watching a scene and you're like, this is it. I'm sure this guy's gonna kill that guy. Seriously, Homelander is a fascinating character. He is, in fact, one of the greatest villains ever created in my book. I never actually know what his next move will be. I never know if he's going to snap and just start killing everyone. At the same time, I want to see him get taken down, but I also kinda want to see him just wreck everyone. I know that's kinda psycho of me, but I bet you think the same way. After all, it's like that saying, the villain we love to hate. Bottom line, Homelander ain't no hero, not here, not anywhere. He's a villain, but one of those complex, tragic villains who scares the shit out of you. He's the fucked up spitting image of unchecked power, of people who idolize any old crap, and of corruption that never ends. His anatomy isn't just about superpowers. It's about how those powers were used to create a human being, if you can even call him that, who's completely screwed up inside. So, what's your take? What do you think about Homelander? Is he just a poor bastard who turned into a monster because of his upbringing, or was the evil in his blood from the start? Drop what you think in the comments, share this shit with your crew, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more crazy rants like this. Alright, peace out. See you next time.